yeah, then it just became a thing of me understanding my style, because I used to write a lot of poetry, and then what I did was like try and put these poems into beats. So it wasn't like I was singing over a beat, I just had a poem, and then I tried to like put on a beat. And then I was very inspired by hip hop, so I would be around a lot of like youths that were rapping, but I was singing. But I always like felt the need to compete with their bars, even though I was singing. So that kind of like all taps into my music style. Like a lot of people, when they hear some of my music, they feel it's very like unorthodox R&B, hip hop, because if you listen, you're gonna hear bars, but like it's me singing type of thing, or it's jazzy. Yeah. But now that I'm 24. Sorry, I'm 24. Music, I just wanna create. I just wanna create. I wanna collaborate. I wanna make projects that like stick. I wanna make projects that people will look back in 20 years and be like, oh rah, like that helps me get through a really hard time. I wanna sing my truth. I'm very passionate about like speaking your truth through music, and it doesn't mean you have to be like, I've gone through A, B, C, but it's just like singing whatever is in your soul, whatever is in your spirit, because it is a very, I feel like people underestimate like the importance of what music is, or what bars are, or like sympathy. I'm sorry, you would know the word, sympathy. Thank you, sympathies, melodies, harmonies, all of that, but like I'm very specific with these things. But yeah, I'm still a student. Like I don't look at myself as, oh, I know, like no, I come into everything wanting to learn more. I want to be the greatest Priscilla there can be, and that's just what it is. I don't really know what else to say about music. I just do it. Like for real. Thank you, that's love, because I was like, am I rambling? No, I do it because I fuck with it, do you know what I mean? Like, I just do it because it makes me happy. I do it because I feel challenged by it. Like if there's nothing else like that I can do, I know that music is one thing I can walk into and be like, I've got that. Like, I've got that. And even if I don't have it, I'm willing to find a way to like make it work. And I don't want to sound like anyone. I just want to sound like me. Whereas I think the first 2 years, that's what I was like I was quite proud of myself, but then I started walking into a lot of like, going into these sessions with a lot of man like, and they're trying to make, or even girls, but like trying to make you into something you're not. Like, oh, you need to sound more like Rihanna or like this, because that's who's popping. And then I started thinking there was something wrong with my sound. But then it just really depends on the energy you're around. You have to be around people that feed you well, do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing wrong. I mean, someone could say, you know, what's the Gangnam Style song? If I was in the studio with him, I probably would have been like, what the fuck is this shit? But you know what I mean? But that's like my perspective, and that's why my perspective is not always right, and that's why other people's perspective is not always right. And I think the thing that really, tell me to stop. But the thing that really stressed me about this music career thing was my genre. Like when people ask, what type of music you do? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like I just know that I sing what comes to my mind. I don't want you to tell me, oh, I'm a neo soul singer or like an R&B singer, you know, because like when we're black, it's R&B, hip hop. Like they kind of like to put us in that box. And you know how you were even talking about theater, you probably might even have like subconscious like things that you may use in reference in your music, you never know, but like people want to put you in this box. So every time people used to ask me, I was just like, look, define it how you want to define it. I just sing. If you relate, lit. If you don't, lit. And as I get older, I'm actually becoming a bit more confident in that whole like genre-less like thing. I don't want to be put in a box, and I think I wish more people would understand.
I think that's the future.
Like, there's honestly, no need.
I think that's the future, because especially with the way music is going now, like you see so many artists just jumping in different bags. Like you could be considered a rapper, but then you have like this rock or heavy old type of beat or whatever, and you're messing with different vocals and melodies. So there isn't that one lane anymore. You know, it's everyone's just kind of making music that just like
it's music. Music from the beginning of time. Music has always been like a collaboration of so many sounds and things. Like, so when people really try and put you in a box, it's hard. Like, you know, once, because you're like, oh, like I'm not gonna lie, I definitely feel like I've nearly got lost in that whole I have to fit. Like, and then I would like silence what I want to sing. And I'm like, oh, people wouldn't understand, so I kind of would work to people understanding as opposed to singing my truth, and then who it needs to relate to. Like, I think that's the important thing, like making music, you know, is true to you, because true music never dies. And not only that, like it will the message will relate to who it needs to relate to. I think when you make music that you think everyone wants, it's like, yeah, it might, it's like a passing message. It's like Domino's sending you an advert, like an advert, like, oh, there's like a pizza half price. It's like, yeah, I saw that, but I'm more likely to remember, I don't know, a message from my therapist. Or do you get my analogy? Like, I'm more likely to remember that. So yeah, I'm in this space where I'm just like, I love music. I'm like, I'm fucking with it. I'm just like, no, I won't limit myself. I love hip hop. That's what I'm inspired by a lot anyway. So yeah, and I think in England, they love to put us in a box, you know, to be fair, like, if you're not like hitting this drill thing or like emotional, woke, deep, conscious rap, or like you're not hitting, like, I don't know, like gets like these bars for bars for bars, it's like, where do you fit? And that's the thing, you don't need to fit, but I feel like a place like England, they will convince you that you need to fit until they realise, oh, I even want to fuck with this person simply because they're not fitting in. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's one of the worst things you can do is to fit in, because once you build your audience and now you've built them based on
what when you
do what it is that you love to do, it's not going to be received.
They're not going to fuck with you.
Nobody's going to fuck with you.
And not because it's not even because what you did is not, what you done was not, like, it's not like it's not lit, but it's just like, yo, you didn't like trust yourself enough. You wanted like views and listens more, which I understand. Everyone goes through that phase where they think numbers is what like is you know, the measuring scheme. Like, if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I'm doing something right. If I'm still at 100 doing this, then I'm not sure what I'm doing. But like, you're right. Like, basically, I'm just adding on to your point. Like, you are really right. Like,
not only that, also when you've gone about it that way, and now you do release what you want to release, you have the wrong market. You're not marketing to the right people now. You really just mess up your whole brand.
Your whole wave, your whole foundation. I think a lot of people, when they do that, they don't think of longevity. Because one thing, like, when people ask me about this thing, I'm like, look, I just want to be here for a long, long time. Like, I really, like, I don't, even sometimes I get stressed out because, you know, I've been doing music since I was 18. So sometimes I'm like, where are these 1,000 subscribers that everybody has? Like, I'm feeling away. Like, but I remember that I really want this for a very long time. Like, I want to be able to be 30 and or 35 or 40 and be like, okay, music is even still paying. Not that like I do music to pay, but what I mean is like, there's a whole plan. You know, there's a whole plan. It's not like, oh, I just want to do. No, I want a foundation. I want to know that once I set off and do this music thing, I don't need to like look back as all just creative opportunities in front of me. And I think a lot of people get lost in, I want it now, but it's like, what's gonna happen like next year, you know? But if you followed your sound and your wave, you would have developed that. There's a thing I always say to my friends, like, the process will always be the process. So you can avoid a year and a year is still gonna pass, or you can just invest into yourself, into your sound, believe in yourself, regardless if you have 10 followers, if you have 5, if you have 100, you know what I mean? But if you believe in yourself, trust.
That's facts, because I remember when we started making music and we had this track that we were trying to release. I remember like we've had this track since like 2016.
Shit, really?
Yeah, for time. And each
Shout
year,
out to Razzie.
Yeah, each year we've been like, for me as a manager, I'm like, I want to get it out there.
Yeah.
You know? But
timing.
Exactly, it's a timing, because if we had released it and let's say we were to do anything, us to get another track out there and to build on that momentum, I don't think we would have been able to do it. Now that we have this studio, now that we've built like connections with different artists, like I feel like we're in a much better place than we were back then. Exactly. And it's all
you know,
all
you
about
can
timing,
literally just roll up here and get your shit done. Basically, without like the worry, oh, like when am I gonna get the next studio booked, or like who's gonna do that? Like you guys have really created it. That's what I'm saying. Like this here is like evidence to like is a testament to longevity. Like this investment right here.
And
like
people didn't really know about what we had. Like you were talking about in terms of followers. Like the followers, it don't match where we are in terms of the industry. Like, we've made connections that, you know, people who have 10,000 followers haven't even imagined about doing, but we've been able to do it low key. And I think sometimes that's way more important, because we just build relationships like that. People have seen that, oh, these guys, like I remember when we were first in the studio, we got this sound engineer and he was listening to Toby's beats and he was like, how old are you? And this was like, you were like 19, even younger, you know what I mean? And he's like, well, your beats are like
at this age, exactly. Imagine when you reach like, fuck.
And then And since that session, that sound engineer has blessed us. Like when we were like struggling and like couldn't even afford like to get studio sessions, he was like, "Alright, I'm gonna bring it down. I'll bring my prices down to where we could just get it." And that's relationships. That's him seeing we weren't big. Yeah. We weren't, but we saw the talent.
But you guys were real, though.
Exactly. He saw that we were real, and he was like, "Alright, I'm a stay." I was telling one of my other guys, it's like sometimes building relationships, there's no monetary value, but it is valuable. It's valuable. It's valuable.
I love, you know what, like, obviously not even spirit, but like, it's so like, genuinely so refreshing watching like people younger than me say this. And I say this because I feel like, not just old, just the generation in general, this whole 20, you know, all of us 20, like, we're very lost with this number thing. Like, when we see numbers, like, we get, like, even thinking, oh, I need like a certain amount of money to get a certain amount of money. I mean, a certain amount of followers, to get a certain amount of money. Like you even said, you've built real relationships that last. Exactly. Followers, Instagram can finish. You can leave tomorrow. Like, as much as, and I really pray it to the God. It doesn't leave, but like, it really can. But you guys know you got those relationships. Exactly. There's many people that have 10K, but they have not made like genuine connection with people. Even there was a time where I had to really sit down. I'm like, bro, like, you need to really make effort, like, offline. Like, you need to make offline connections because that's the real shit. Like, don't get lost in this, because I feel like people are doing it based on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like, based on this algorithm. And it just takes away from your art. Like, and that's not how the industry is. The industry, they're just showing you a small part. But like, having relationships, really important ones that you know that like, they trust your character, like, and vice versa. That's what's important. Like, that's good. Like, that's lit.
Because when you have all of that stuff, like, I honestly believe the rest will catch up.
Yeah,
like, I'm not trying to like create anything to like get your attention and to like, oh, you gotta follow me and whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna put my shit out there. And then you're gonna catch up, like
you'll catch up though. You know the ones.
It's not. I'm not trying to catch up to them. They're gonna have to catch up to what we're doing.
We do get lost in that whole like.
Yeah.
You know, please, like, do you want to taste? And I even get lost in that. I'm like, bro, like, you just need to just give it and let it be and work on what you have around you. You know, you have relationships or even budding relationships. Like, work on that. That's real shit. Like.
Yeah. And working on yourself, like the individual work, the individual growth, because all of that. Because if you do get a success and everything, and it can come early, can you maintain it? Mentally, can you deal with it? Like, are you ready? Are you ready for that? Like, I remember, like, when we had a performance and, like, him and another guy that I managed, Razzie. Yeah. And to prepare for the performance, these guys were rehearsing, like, just out in the roads, like, just getting that stage presence.
I fuck with that. I've done that before.
Because you need
it, and sometimes you have to, like, literally use what you have, and I truly believe God will bless your efforts. Like, I truly believe.
Facts.
I fuck with that, man.
Literally, I think you have to commit first and then follow up with the actions. Because when we did agree to do that performance at Sony, we hadn't rehearsed. And to be honest, the tracks were not polished. They weren't polished. But we committed first, and then what happened after that is we ended up.
Whoa, I'm a sermon, people. Now for real. Like, no, it's real shit. Like,
the opportunity arose, and we had to capitalize on it. And we just.
You could be like, oh, I'm not ready, but that's kind of the whole concept of God, like, kind of opening doors you're not, like, qualified for, but he will make you qualified, like, that type of shit. And you guys, sorry, I'm so sorry, you could have been like, oh, you know, we don't have a room to practice in, or, like, you know, all these things that I think people get lost in, like, oh, you know, all of this, no, you use the roads. Like, you know, you use the roads because you knew you wanted it. Do you know what I mean? And you knew that I'm going to find a way, even if I can't do it the conventional way, I'm going to find a way. And I'm pretty sure that performance was lit.
Like, this studio, like, I remember at the start of the year, like, I wrote in my journal, like, I want to start a business. I prayed about it. And then when it happened, when this, like, I thought in my back of my mind, this will happen, like, maybe later on in the year. Like, mentally, I don't even think I was ready for it, but then as soon as it started, like, we just moved, like, even though I was like, I'm not sure, like, if I'm mentally ready to handle all of this, but then we just did it, like, we just kept and it's, like I told you, like, we've only been open for like a few weeks now, but this has been some of the busiest and most productive weeks, like, just moving, like, it feels like every day we've got something, like, I'm hitting him up, like, boom, we've got this session, whatever, making these plans or whatever. It's like, I didn't think I was ready for it, but I've been doing it, you know what I mean? And that's what
sometimes it doesn't even matter what you think.
Exactly.
And I don't even mean like, what I mean is like sometimes what we think of ourselves literally does not matter. Like what I mean is, you believe, oh, I'm not ready, but God knows you.
Exactly.
God knows, look, AJ, just be there.
Yeah.
I need you and Toby to move.
Yeah.
Like, you can, oh, I've got all this doubt, but God this, but God that, but God Nottingham's far. Like, I don't know, maybe these things you were thinking, obviously you guys live it, but I'm just saying you might be presuming these things, but God will make a way. Like, God will make a way. Like, I'm really proud of, I don't know you guys, but I'm really proud of you guys. Like, really,
that's love,
for real.
man. That's really
no, for real, I feel very inspired, for real.
Big love.
Real shit.
Big love.
Got to manifest some shit myself, but like, it's real shit.
But honestly, and I'm so glad to have this conversation with you because this is what this space is like, what we wanted it to be. You know, like a place to be just creative in all aspects. Like we can make music and stuff, and it could just be boom, we come and make music, but to feel comfortable, to feel like I can let go, you know what I mean, and feel like I think that's when the best music is made.
It's real, it's authentic,
exactly,
and it's raw. I don't really see a lot of play. Everything feels so like businessy. Do you know? Not even though it's a business, but everything feels so like not like controlled as opposed to raw. Like I get the vibe. Like I feel like I could be like, yo, I need to lay something down right now, and this is a space where I'd be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because you guys, I feel like innately you love music, you love art, you love like the visions you have for your lives. You know what I mean? And you want to work towards that, and I fuck with that because I want to do the same thing type of thing. So
that's beautiful.
That's real. This is a beautiful space, beautiful energy, like beautiful spirits. Just keep doing you guys. And I keep doing you. This year will be lit.
With that being said,
sorry.
Everyone in this, just in the shot of this, I want to get a quick picture.
Yeah, of course.
Cool, I got you.
Oh, no.
Send me this as well.
Yeah,
I'll use it
sure.
like a thumbnail.